Hi everybody, happy Monday. I'm Virginia Shaw.
I'm Jason Martinez. Hope you had a nice weekend out there. We had plenty of sunshine, kind of a hot weekend in San Diego for this time of year. Will today be the same? Let's get to meteorologist Megan Perry.
Oh yeah, it was a record hot weekend for many areas. In fact, today's still going to be warm, but not quite as hot. And part of the change that we're dealing with is the marine layers rolling back in. Downtown, can't really see much there. Poway also dealing with some patchy fog, starting off in the 50s and 60s this morning. And as we pull up the visibility map, the smaller the number, the worse it is. It has been pretty bad in the Kearny Mesa area. Over the last 10-20 minutes, it has improved to about 5 miles. But of course, that could be just in some areas, not in others. Fallbrook, one of the trouble spots, also El Cajon, Carlsbad as well. So if you're driving through that fog, just make sure you slow down and leave plenty of traveling distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. It's a Monday, so here's your Monday motivation. Temperatures climbing to the 80s this afternoon for the valleys, also for our mountains, 70s in the coast, and still very hot in the deserts near that century mark. I'm forecasting how warm it will be where you live. I'll have that for you in San Diego's most accurate forecast in 8 minutes. Virginia?
Thank you, Megan. Some new information on the outrage in the East County as the Gate Fire continues to burn right now. Investigators have launched a criminal investigation, but some of the neighbors say none of this would have happened if it had not been for the nearby shooting range.
And investigators have this video right here. They're going to follow up with the 4 people you see kind of running away from the area.
And yeah, it's still spreading. Didn't give a hoot about obviously the dry brush, because literally where they were shooting was all dry brush.
And new this morning, residents telling 10 News they've been complaining about the shooting range for months.
Tried to explain to them that it was dangerous to keep allowing people to shoot there. They basically yawned in our faces.
Well, they also say the range doesn't even have fire extinguishers. So far, no response from the range management. So this morning, as you're just waking up, we want to let you know where the fire stands right now. 2,000 acres, 70% contained. Firefighters saying it should be fully contained by today. But this is the remote area it's burning in right there, south of Humul near Otay Lakes Road and the 94. Now, a campground in this area is still closed, and that's forcing a lot of people who live in this area to sit in a Chula Vista parking lot right outside a Home Depot. And that's where 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is live this morning. You see the RVs and campers behind him. And a lot of people here, Mimi, are just frustrated. They want to go home.
Exactly, Jason. And because the Pio Pico campgrounds are privately owned, that means the owner gets to decide when these people will get to go back home. And right now, there's no word on when that will be. But if you just look, you can see how many people have been affected by this. All these RVs full of those evacuated residents, and they're all right outside of this Home Depot right now. We just learned that they have no water at the campgrounds right now, and it could be out for several more days. So some people like Tara Collins stay at the campgrounds almost permanently. She lives there for 3 weeks out of the month, and now she's one of many temporarily living at the Home Depot lot. The campground on Otay Lakes Road was quickly evacuated. There was some fire damage to infrastructure at the grounds, but fire officials didn't say just how bad it is. Tara says no one is giving them a straight answer about when they'll be allowed back in.
I want to go home. I have to work on Tuesday. I'm gonna go find somewhere to shower and get ready. I mean, what do? You know, I have to go to work.
Now, we reached out to Pio Pico officials to see when these people will get to go back home. They tell us that the campgrounds are closed indefinitely. People can go in and out just to grab their belongings, but that's it. We'll be reaching out to them again this morning to see if these people are closer to getting home. For now, we're live in Chula Vista. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thanks, Mimi. One Chula Vista police officer was hurt while directing traffic around that fire. A car hit him, but the department tells us he's now at home recovering. As fire crews make progress on the Gate Fire, and they're updating us here right now. In fact, we're going to post updates on our free 10 News app, as well as posting an update on 10news.com. In fact, CAL FIRE now saying the fire is 75% contained and all evacuation orders have been lifted. The fire is at 2,056 acres. So again, we'll keep you posted, but it looks like they're slowly starting to make progress.
Moving in the right direction. Yeah, so new this morning, you can weigh in on the future of the convention center. The council taking up a proposal by the mayor that would raise the hotel tax to pay for upgrades. Have you heard that one before? 10 News reporter Mary McKenzie live at the convention center. And Mary, what kind of upgrades will be considered in this proposal?
So if you've come out here, of course, Jason, for Comic-Con, for the auto show, for any of the major events that happen here at the convention center, you know just how big this facility is. The mayor's plan, though, would expand and modernize it, and he and other supporters of this tax say that's necessary to keep those premier events here in San Diego and to attract as many as 50 more events each year. The mayor's new plan would add 400,000 square feet to the space. There would be, among other things, a rooftop park, better public access to the waterfront on the other side of the convention center, and the money raised by the hotel tax would also go towards fixing potholes and other infrastructure improvements and to providing help for the city's homeless. Two major issues, of course, here in San Diego. So there will be heated discussions happening today at the city council meeting. Even if it does get the 5 votes that it needs to go to the ballot, the next fight could be about when it goes to the ballot. If it is this year, opponents say that would require a special election and could potentially mean a lower turnout for the vote this fall in November. But supporters say it can't wait until November of 2018. We're live in the Gaslamp District. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
Here in the 10 News Live Center, within the past 30 minutes, President Trump made history. He visited the Western Wall, one of the holiest Jewish sites. He's the first sitting president to do this. Now, George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, as well as Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, they all visited the Western Wall, but as private citizens or candidates. Earlier this morning, the president spoke alongside the Israeli president. Trump reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to Israel. This is video of them speaking alongside each other earlier this morning. Now, the president will spend today in Jerusalem. Tomorrow, he will meet with Palestinian leaders and speak at Israel's Holocaust Museum. I'm Melissa Messiha here in the Live Center, guys.
Mel, thank you very much. Happening today, we're taking a live look at the Del Mar Racetrack and Fairgrounds, where today the Board of Directors will talk about how to handle a marijuana festival. The Good Life Festival, scheduled for September. Thousands of people expected to be there for the food and music, and yes, the marijuana. Today, the Fairgrounds Board will also try to determine a policy for future cannabis events.
New this morning, the Padres issued a statement on this close call for fans at Petco Park. See this? It's a drone, and they say this is a sign of a bigger problem. Somebody flying the drone right into the crowd, right here. It lands right in between those two spectators. Happened during the game yesterday against the Diamondbacks. That drone just luckily hit that empty seat instead of a person. One fan decided, well, it's mine now.
Yeah, the old finders keepers.
Yeah, no word on who's responsible for that drone crashing. San Diego police are investigating. Meanwhile, in the statement, the Padres say the incident highlights the dangers of unauthorized drone use near large public venues like Petco Park. They say they back the San Diego City Council's recent decision to bring local laws in line with FAA rules. Those rules include things like fines for people who fly drones near airports or emergency operations. The laws would also reflect any future changes to federal rules. The Padres say they are looking forward to working with local law enforcement to make sure those rules are enforced.
So what would you do with an extra $1,000?
Oh, I'd love to think about that, but we're not allowed to win.
No.
But you are, because we're giving away $1,000 right now. Take a look at some of the winners of the 10 News $1,000 giveaway this month. See what they have in common? They're all smiling. This is your chance to be one of them. Call the number on your screen, 619-237-6370. 10th caller wins. And if you don't win this morning, guess what? You have another chance tomorrow morning at 6.
Yeah, my favorite question to ask them is, what are you going to do with the money? And they all have just different, unique answers,
different
you know?
answers.
It wasn't
Yeah.
just like pay bills. It was like
Right.
doing something unique with the money.
Yeah, like a lot of people said they were going to save it until you maybe need it. It's always a good idea. I want to show you what's going on in Escondido. I just got this tweet from Kay Mira, and she says it's pretty foggy here in Escondido, and I was just scanning our Caltrans cameras, and actually from Escondido, as you're traveling along the 15, straight through Miramar and about where you reach the 163, it's pretty foggy that entire way. So if you're driving through Poway or Rancho Bernardo, you may be dealing with also in Mira Mesa. Fallbrook, also very foggy. Visibility there, less than half a mile, also patchy in the El Cajon area. Hour by 10, mid-70s inland, mid-80s this afternoon. Not quite as hot as it's been, but still toasty warm. 70s along the coastline with a few 60s, 75 in Chula Vista, and 80s for our inland neighborhoods. This is just the beginning of our cooling trend. I'm going to pinpoint when temperatures plummet up to 25 degrees from today, coming up in about 10 minutes. Kalina?